Mornings, the one place on the internet where all we talk about is how to get happy right now, how to take that next step in your life, and then how do you build a plan so that you enjoy the journey to get there. Hi, my name is Kelly Lunt. I am your host. I'm an intuitive channel, medium, and law of attraction expert, and I very much enjoy coming live Monday through Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. I apologize for getting the show started late today. I am in a new town and I took a wrong turn, and there was no straight way out of it. Um, but I do the show Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time for 30 minutes. I always start the show with a general channeled message from Spirit. So that way, those of you who can't join live, you can always come back and hear a message in the very beginning of the show. And those of you who are able to join live, I dive into free mini reads for 30 minutes. So if you're coming live, say hello. Let me know you're here. If you're watching the replay, just give me a comment replay. Let me know you're watching. It's way more fun for me the more engaged that you guys are. Um, yeah, so without further ado, let's just jump straight in. Let's get to the general message and then let's dive into the free mini reads. Are you guys not commenting or am I just not seeing comments? Can someone say hi real quick just so I can see if okay. Kelly Armstrong, hello. How are you? I haven't seen you on the show before. Concha made it. Yay. Hope Antoinette makes it. Hi Valentina. Hi Karina. Hi Leona. Hi Soul Rebel. Hi Brandon. Hi Valentina. Hi Min. Hi Squish. What are some other names that normally pop up? Hi Divine Healing Journey. Um, Leona Soul Rebel. Lakesview. What's up? Oh, what a lovely day. I want to say hi to you too. I'm trying to think of the other names that we see popping up. That's all I can remember off the fly of my head. So let's get to the general message today. If you guys want to meditate with me, go ahead and close your eyes. Just bringing all of your focus into the here and the now. All of your focus getting drawn into the current moment right now, other places, other people. It's all getting called back to you right now. Take a deep breath in as you just relax the muscles in your body and settle and sink into the here and now. And go ahead and breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Feeling your body get heavier in your chair, relaxing the muscles in your body. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relaxing the muscles in your stomach. Breathe in. Breathe out. Continue to breathe at your own pace and your own rhythm. All right, guys, I'm going to have to pull a tarot spread. They're talking pretty loudly in the living room, so I'm going to have to pull a tarot spread for the general. It will help me focus. Min, what's up? Hi, Min. My daily life journey, what's up? We're on the general message, guys. I got to pull a tarot spread to get it, though. Thanks for coming on, everyone. All right, what does everyone need to hear today? Oh, okay. So, give me, all right, they're being a little loud. I'll be right back. All right, thank you guys. Okay. So it looks like you guys are coming out of a little bit of a sad time, and Like victory is on its way here. You're on the path of success. It will soon feel like a you overcame the hurdle. It will soon feel like a whew, I'm through the thick of it. I got through the worst of it. And there needs to be an element of you guys kind of need to let go of whatever sadness or whatever didn't work out. You need to let go that there's nothing you could do to feel more happy, happy, joy, joy about it. Because there's some of you who are a little stuck in the pattern of like, well, how do I make myself feel good about breaking up with this person? How do I make myself feel good about that decision I made that like altered my life forever? There needs to be this point where you just accept that was dissatisfying. That was dissatisfying. And there's nothing I can do to make myself feel better about it. And the reason why you want to do that is because there's either things that are satisfying or dissatisfying, good, bad, yes, no. And if you try to make something that's a no into a yes, that's when you get confused in your mind. That's when you're like, but who am I? I don't even know who I am. What do I like? What do I not like? So that's why when something bad happens, when something sad happens, that was sad. I am never going to feel satisfaction for having to end things with him. Then you're incongruent. You're incongruent with your internal guidance system, and you know your yeses from your nos so that you'll be able to hear your intuition to keep moving forward. So you want to be able, that was sad, that was bad, that was angry, that was disappointing, that was dissatisfying, and I will never be able to feel dissatisfied about that. If you guys can get that wrapped up, you're going to be able to move forward to success, and you'll hit the point where it was time for that relationship to end. It was time for me to get a new job. It was time for me to move. Okay, so what else do you got for them, Spirit? Yeah, and it kind of looks like there's a little bit of you trying to like do too much. There's a little bit of you trying to like take on more. Like there is the look, there's like the sadness, there's the disappointment that you're like not allowing yourself to label as sad, bad, disappointing. Or you're just avoiding it and focusing on something else, right? But you've got the card of what you really need to be doing is taking time to like rest, recoup, recharge. Like I am sad that relationship's over. It was so close to being perfect. I'm going to go ahead and do my daily routine stuff. I'm going to go ahead and do, my day-to-day job. And then I'm just going to like take it easy in the evenings and just enjoy getting to know my roommates. Because there's an element of like needing to take it like easy on yourself for what you're going through. Oh, and Min, I'm so sorry I haven't been able to respond. Actually, there's a couple people I haven't been able to respond to your text yet. It's a little, we got the second funeral coming up this weekend, and I'm like doing back to back work chores, clients chores, rescheduling with clients. Um, but so, Min, this is where you're, hey, I went out of my comfort zone. I went out. It's okay if you need to then kind of take a day or two to just, that was an enjoyable experience. You don't need to push yourself to go out again right away. Yeah, if you guys could just hit that point of that was a no, this is a yes. I'm okay that that's a no. I'm never going to be satisfied about it. And if you get to the point of I need like I'm going to start the new, I'm going to keep going in the new direction and I need a little bit of rest, then you get the star as the outcome, guys. All right, does anyone have any questions or comments about the general message? And you guys are being so kind with all these compliments about how I look. I know this is like live TVs, but since I don't have hundreds of followers, guys, it's really funny because today is the first day that I wasn't able to shower before the show. And you guys are telling me I'm glowing and looking good. I did get out in the sun yesterday and did a long walk. So it's probably that and then some good old I cleaned a lot last night. I was dripping sweat from how much. So it's just good old elbow grease, guys. That's all this is right now. That's hysterical. But thank you for all the compliments. Okay, so does anyone have any questions, comments about the general, maybe how it applies to your particular situation before we dive into the free mini reads? Let's just say hey to Antoinette. Antoinette, I'm sorry. Um, I had a surprise thrown at me, just in case Antoinette watches the replay. She's being really good at helping me be accountable. It was my parents' anniversary, and they asked me to go to breakfast with them. And then, so that held me to be late, so I couldn't shower. And then on my way driving over here, I took a wrong turn in my rush, and then I got caught in the loop de loop. Um, okay, so hey Kelly, what was the bilateral beats you sent me a link to? I couldn't find it. I think I hit the wrong button. I spent the whole day crying that day. Oh well, congratulations for your cry and releasing that stuff. I'm gonna have to, Tigress. I wonder if I can. I'm gonna have to link to it in the comments after the show, which I will do. Just because I'm on my phone right now, so if I like click off this to go search, it will like end the live. So I'll have to send that afterwards. But congratulations for your cry. Good job. Yeah, the general resonates. I'm an Aquarius in 1968. What's up, John the driver? Okay, so any questions, comments on the general, or like you can just start hitting me in the comments with your questions. Because guys, we're gonna do the show this week, Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Next week, I'm going on a family vacation, so there's gonna be no show next week. So hit me in the comments with all your questions now. Yay, thanks for hitting the like button. John the driver? That's cool. Are you out driving around doing logistics in the US? Tuning into the show? That's cool. What would you like a reading on, sir? You keep America running. So my home base right now is in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and we're like a logistics hub. So we got lots of appreciation for our truck drivers. I totally went the opposite of your tarot reads between the two connections last week. I love the result though. What does that mean? I totally went the opposite of your tarot reads between the two connections. Oh, interesting. Well, good. You're talking about between J and K. Interesting. I have to go read your text messages now. I saw the photo. You looked beautiful. But I gotta read the text. I think J was the yes, K was the no. Okay, interesting. Are you gonna go out with both of them though, Min? Please, I would appreciate it and thank you. I'm looking at getting into yoga. I've never done it before, but I was being guided to it. What does she need to hear about? What does Tigress need to hear about getting into yoga, Spirit? Help her hear what she needs to hear, see what she needs to see, feel what she needs to feel, guide her to get into an energetic, enthusiastic state for moving forward with whatever she wants. Help her work through any fears. Yeah, you got a big old yes. They're all yes cards. It's going to open you up to like whatever it's going to do to the energy in your body. It's going to open you up to more fun and more celebration. And like just feeling more playful and fun and like energetic. There does need to be a little bit of intentionality as you go down this path. Because you don't want to go down the path of just taking class after class after class after class. So there needs to be a little bit of, I'm taking this class to get my certificate so that I can start teaching. And then it will be, now that I've started teaching, oh, I see that I think if I learned this, it will help my students more. Because it's like they don't want you to get lost in the path of just continual education on it. So it's just make sure there's a little bit of a, I don't want to say strategy, but a little bit of intentionality. I'm taking this course so that I can then do this. Now that I'm doing it, I see what else I can do to make it better. They're really stressing that because you might get there's a good chance of you just getting caught in the loop of I need to learn more before I can start. I need to learn more before I can start. Does that make sense? So it's just make sure you take a class and then start teaching because that's going to teach you more than any class is going to teach you. And it's kind of like as you go through this path, just keep leaning into the passion of it. I like it because of this. I like it because of that. I like that it helps clients do X, Y, Z. And the more that you focus on why you like it for yourself and why you like it for your clients. I love it when they come in, they're all like, oh, my body hurts. But when they leave, they're like, oh my God, I feel so good. When you keep focusing on, I like it for that reason, that's what you need to focus on. Because if you get, you're just going to have your hard times, you're going to get trapped in your head. I don't know enough yet. I need to learn more. That's why you need to keep your focus on the why you love it and why you love it for the results your clients get. If you could do that, but I'm going to tell you, it keeps coming up in the read. You're going to have to catch yourself. That's going to be the biggest thing you have to catch yourself on. If you were in my mastermind every week, I would be pointing out how you're getting caught in the trap, and then I would help you replace it with a new thought, which your new thought is return back to why do you love yoga? Why do you love it for yourself? And then I call it a smile file. Anyone who's like self-employed or an entrepreneur, if you're a service-based like entrepreneur or self-employed person, it's really about keeping that smile file list. Anytime someone says a thank you so much, and you helped me get ready for my wedding day, like take screenshots of that so that if you ever get in your head of I need to learn more, you can return back to your smile file and remind yourself that you are helping people now. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I love the general about moving forward. I'm really excited to build community, that's for sure. Yeah, that general was good. I definitely saw how it applied to you. Yes, ma'am. Woohoo. What's your trucking route, John the driver? Yoga will heal so much. I want to do it for my health, stress relief. Stress relief. Okay. I'm okay. What do you hold on? Oh, okay. Yeah, just keep saying the same thing. Whether you're doing it just for yourself or I kind of get that you will do this for other people too, Tigress. Um, like that's when you'll really cement in the knowledge that you're learning. Um, if you go down this path with okay, I'm stretching my body, I feel better, but I didn't take this class, so I'm clearly not doing it good enough. There's four common belief systems that hold people back. One of them is that I'm inherently flawed. I also call that the mother wound. I'm inherently flawed. So even though I took this class and I researched it and I feel better, since I'm inherently flawed, this path isn't good enough. Let me go take another class. So it's like use the yoga to heal and break that flawed belief system. And what I always tell myself when I was breaking that one was I learned everything I needed to learn to break as much of anything I needed to break right now. I do enough, I did enough, I am enough. Um, if I need to learn more to deepen my healing later, I'll learn it at just the right time. Right now, I learned just what I needed to learn for right now, and I feel so much better. I can begin to believe, I can begin to be open to the idea that I'm good enough, that the research I did was good enough. Yin yoga and restorative yoga will be great for stress. I actually been both stressed and depressed. Are you trying to be a little poet and rhyme? My health caused me to not pass my 2-year physical. Uh-oh. That won't cost me to change. This won't cost me to change careers and uncertain. Also been thinking about relocating to the West. All right, what do we got for John the driver who keeps America running? No wonder why you're stressed. Jesus, you're keeping all us idiots fed and gassed up and okay, what does he need to hear about his stress? Let's focus on his stress first. Oh. Um honestly, a lot of your stress will be resolved when you get a lover in your life. And John, I know you might be stressed right now. You're headed on the right path though. Seven of her and Min, I want the update on your little date because you're saying you went the opposite and it worked out well. So I'm like dying curious. This is the seeds are well planted. You're headed in the right direction, and it's also the card of you're at the point where you're not going to see the results just yet because like when when you're planting seeds you have to keep watering them and keep weeding and keep the animals away for a while before you start to see the sprouts. It's that waiting period. So you've done something to alleviate stress, to alleviate your depression, to get love into your life. And love can be, yes, a love or romantic partner. It could just be like moving somewhere where you have more friends, or instead of doing like long trucking, maybe you're just going to be like a local truck driver in a city so that you can have more time for friendship and companionship. So you've already taken it. You've already done something. Seeds are well planted. You're just not seeing the results yet. The wheel is like the turn of good tides. And then you got the Lovers card, and so the Lovers does, yes, mean there's going to be like more opportunity for love in your life, but it's also the Choice card. So you'll soon see the results of whatever efforts you've taken in terms of like new opportunities coming in, and then you're going to have a choice because it's going to be kind of like are you really ready to let go of the life you have right now and to switch into something new? A lot of people can hit fear. And John the Driver, you might like come to my workshop on, I believe it's Saturday the 21st. If I It's Saturday the 21st. I don't know if it's the 21st or 22nd, but it's that Saturday around that time frame. I haven't started marketing in yet. A lot of people can get caught in fear that even if they're on a path of like stressed and depressed and they get the new opportunity, the thought of change can people can get caught in fear and not take the change. So I would just encourage you, take the leap. Take the leap. You got the two. Take the leap to the new life. You're gonna figure it out. You're gonna settle in. All right, what do you got for his depressed? Oh, bro, you were on a huge transformational journey. Um, right now you're like the king of fire, and that's the guy who's like a little emotionless, a little bit, let's get work done. He kind of like, it's not that you are emotionless, you're just in a situation where you can't be expressive, the king of cups, emotional, you know? So it's kind of like, I got to get down to business. And so whatever career path you've chosen, it's kind of, you've had to adopt that mentality to do it, right? Are you a long distance truck driver? And this is the I can't get out of this. So like it's like the trapped card. So what that could look like for you, not saying this is exactly what it's like for you on the day to day, but that could look like, well, I can't give up this job because then I want like I'll have to take a big pay cut. If I take a big pay cut, I'll never be able to afford that house, and then I'll never get that girl. It's that self trapment in your mind. But so you're on the journey of going from him, that's you're having some mental trapping that's keeping you, but I gotta stay here. But you're on the path to become him, the king of water, the guy who has love, friends, companionships, maybe a wife and kids in his life. It just keeps coming up. You gotta like watch that fear that's going to come up for when like if someone offers you the, hey, we did be a Safeway driver, 40 minutes to the farm and back, you're just going to do that all throughout the day. um, know that those fears always come up when you do a big change. They always do. But are you going to lean into the fear and stay in what you already know? Or are you going to go, I'm ready for my next adventure in life. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to adapt. I'm adaptable. I'm you're going to like lean into that expansion energy. I'm expanding, I'm evolving, I'm adapting. I'll figure it out as I go. I'll get to discover what I like about the new life, and I'll figure out what I don't like about it. What I don't like, I'll figure out how to make it better. What I do like, I'll really enjoy it. So just like this is like that Simon Sinek who, what's your why? So what's your why for why you want to change, right? And it will probably be, well, in this one, I know I'm stressed and depressed and I'm not passing physicals. Even though I might feel scared to go down this new path, I'm doing it because I'd like to feel ease in my life. I'd like to feel enjoyment in my life, and I'm doing this for my health. So you got to keep leaning into that why. Okay, so John, give me some more updates on that. I believe it will help to improve my tarot readings too. Interesting. Valentina made it. What's up? Tigress, thank you. I have not been very physically active, and I believe this will also help me to start focusing more on being active. Yeah. Several self improvement reasons personally. Kellyhunt.com for a gift if anyone wants to meet their spirit. Oh, thank you, Concha. Yeah, guys, that's the link. I put together a free meditation to meet your spirit guide. And I also put together a free mini manifesting course on that. It explains just 5 videos explaining all 5 steps of law of attraction. And you'll get to meet younger Kelly, the Kelly who started this business like 7 or 8 years ago. That was me. Hi, I'm a Cancer Sun and double Virgo. What's up, Lori? How are you? Divine Healing Journey. Yes, I'm caught in fear also. Maybe we need to do a spread on the fear. This resonates with me also. Yes, a prisoner of the OTR highway. Thank you so much. Leaning more to new changes. Anyone who's having that fear resonates, you guys look for the post for the workshop. That's what the workshop is about, to just snap you guys out of the fear, out of your head, and just to like cement you into the new so that you can just start moving forward. You guys are gonna look out for that post. What's OTR? Is I don't know all the lingo of driving, but it sounds like let's work on the fear more. So John, do you want to be the one to like talk about the fear? Everyone's resonating with it, so let's focus on getting y'all out of the fear. I remember hearing about you from Tyler Tarot. Tyler's Tarot. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He and I used to collaborate a lot. Really entertaining guy. I just watched one of his recent reads. That was forever ago, Lori. Yeah, that was a good like seven. Whenever I started, he and I met. We both started our businesses around the same time. Well, welcome. Welcome to the show, Over the Road. Okay, so you are a long distance driver. I also come across from y'all have met me from Tyler's Tarot. That's crazy. We gotta like let's just send Tyler some love. Thanks for introducing us all. Again, I just watched one of his recent videos talking about I would like if I were a girl I would blah 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 because I already made millions from Tyler's Tarot. I'd make millions from that too. Cracks me up, man. He cracks me up. I'm a prisoner of. Okay, so let's talk about the fear more, guys. A prisoner of the OTR highway. Thank you so much. Leaning more to new changes. So anyone who feels like but I'm stuck. I can't get out. If I don't think this one's for John, but I think it was for other people in the audience. Well, but if I do that, then I'll prove my parents wrong. If I do that, then I'll make them feel bad and wrong. There's just all kinds of mind stuff that can come up. John, I think it like a lot of yours, how I remember I kept saying you have to lean into the new. I'm adaptable, I'm changeable. This is about my health. A lot of it is also about admitting what it is for emotionally for you. I'm ready to enjoy life more. I'm ready to expand into allowing in good friendship and companionship. And see, that's when the fear kicks in, guys, because if you tap into your why, I'm doing this so that I can have more friends and companionship, right? It will feel good, and then all your fears will kick in. But what if you do that, you move somewhere and no one likes you? Right now you could at least be on the open road and like and doing stuff so that you can like, be committed to something. But like what if I get stationary and then no one likes me? What if I get stationary and I don't know how to make friends? Oh my god, I haven't socialized in forever. I don't know how to make friends. That's the fear that will keep people in the old, instead of okay, this is scary. I'm gonna have to do it. And this is where, and my law of attraction course, guys, if you click on that free gift, it's step 5. I explain it in the step 5 video. Some It's about moving forward with both emotions, the bad and the good. And the story that I've recently been liking to share is that, back when I was at my home, just a lot of my friends have gone in different directions in life. Now they're married with 2 or 3 kids. I don't see them as much anymore. I used to see them 2 to 3 times a week. One was working 2 jobs for a while. She was my every Saturday hiking buddy. I didn't have my 2 to 3 time a week friend. I was going to yoga classes with her. I lost my hiking buddy, and then I was like, crap, I don't have any friends. And then it was like, well, when I first moved to Tennessee, I had that. I just moved here. Of course, I'm looking for friends. But for me, what came up was oh my God, I've been living here for 10 years and I'm going to go to like a new place. And they're like, what are you doing here? I'm going to be like, oh, I don't have friends. I felt so awkward. It took me like a month to even go to the first board game group. And the first time I went there, like anxiety hit. It hit. It was in my chest. It was deep. It hit my stomach. And I kind of like and I didn't realize the board game group was at a restaurant. So I'm walking in with my Nalgene bottle. I walk in, anxiety hit. I sit down. I just kind of closed my eyes, leaned over on the table. Like, guys, I was an anxiety ball, and everyone else was just being cool and quiet. When I picked my head up, they were just like, "Hey, thanks so much for coming." I was like, "Thank you," and then I clutched back over. I was so awkward. But everyone was cool. Like, I just had to go there and fill it. And I just like I got through the game. And on the way out, one guy said, "Hey, you're Kelly, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm Kelly." He went, "Oh, I just wanted to introduce myself to you. I think if I'm remembering correctly, his name was, oh, I shouldn't say names." He said, "Hey, I just want to let you know my name is so and so." And I went, "Oh, okay, cool. Oh, cool." And he's like, "Well, I'm introducing myself because I saw that you also RSVP'd for tomorrow's board games nights. And I just know that sometimes it could help if you know someone who's going to be there. So I just wanted to introduce myself so tomorrow could hopefully go better for you. And I was like, like, wow. I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, wow. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. And I ran because I had so much anxiety. When I went the other day and I walked into the room, it was like, 10 guys all looking around board game groups and they're looking at me. I'm like, hi. And they're like, hi. And then I look around and I saw that guy and I was like, and he waved at me and went, I knew you would feel more comfortable if I introduced myself to you last night. I went, oh, thank you so much. And then I ran and sat down next to him. And he wasn't even hitting on me. He was married and happily married. He talked about his wife, never even picked up on anything about him hitting on me or anything. I was just like, I was like, thank you so much. And like I was a hot mess that time too. I was like, every turn I was like, okay, there's red, yellow, orange. What can I do with a red card? Like I was having such like amnesia and forgetfulness and anxiety. Everyone there was just like so kind. I was like, oh my God, these people are never going to want me back. They had to explain the rules to me every single turn I took. And the guy who brought the game just said, hey, are we going to see you again? I was like, really? You'd want to play with me again? He's like, yeah, don't worry. You'll settle in, kid. I was like, oh, okay, thank you. I went the third time. By the time I went the third time, I was like, okay, you're so and so, you're so and so. And they were like, yeah, yeah. I was like, okay, I started to feel more comfortable. The fourth time, I was like, hey guys, what's up? I brought some muffins. Hope you guys like them. And then I'm gonna tell a little bit more of the story, and we'll do a couple more free reads. I started the show late. Um, and then it was the next time I went one more time, and by then I was like comfortable, and that was and then one of the guys just said, well, hey, if you ever want to play games outside of the group, because it only meets like every other week, twice a month, he's like, my number's there. Feel free to reach out. And you could of course bring friends too. So it was super safe, super comfortable. And then he also shared later, he's like, hey, and just so you know, like I'm not straight. So I was like, oh, okay. He's like, so I'm not hitting on you. I just moved here 9 months ago. I'm looking for new friends. I was like, oh, okay. So I sent him a text and said, hey, what's up? It's Kelly. I'd love to play outside of the group. Okay. And so what happened then, like, as I'm getting ready, because I'm not in my home state, as you guys can tell, the background's different. And I'm gonna be here for 2 months. He happened to send a text like, "Hey, do you want to play games before you go? It can just be you, or you can bring some friends over. I love hosting, and like I said, I just moved here. I don't really know anyone, and I like playing board games. So I brought two of my girlfriends over, and I had such an anxiety panic attack that day because I was so nervous about coming here. There's just some a family member died, and it was someone that I was really really close to. So I was like, grief was hitting me hard. And so when I was going to this man's house for the first time with two of my friends, I dead stopped in the middle of the room and I just like froze. Like, oh my God, it hit me so hard. I froze. And I just like tears started streaming. And he was like, oh my God, are you okay? And I went, no, no, because I was just meeting him as a brand new friend, right? I don't want to like dump all my emotions or anything on him. And my other two friends just like immediately, because they knew what was going on, they knew why I was scared about coming out here, all my fears, and they knew like the grief I was going through. And they just looked at me and went, Kelly. And I went, no, no hugs. Just give me 10 seconds. And I cried. I looked at him and I went, hey, sorry, just I'm leaving out of town for 2 months. It's because like it was the aunt that I was super close to. I called her multiple times every week. I vacationed with her. She visited me multiple times throughout the year. I visited her. And he's like, oh, okay. And I was like, I don't need any support on this. Like, honestly, I was like, I just want to say thank you so much for inviting me and allowing me to bring friends, because had you not invited me, I would have been at home alone with this emotion. And he's like, okay. And he got it. He was like, I get that I'm the new friend, that you don't want to open up to me. And he just said, oh, well, I'm really glad I invited you then. And then he just backed off and gave me space while my other friend came up and hugged me. And I just like, I full on sobbed for like a good minute. And then I was like, okay, thank you guys. I really just want to play the game. I need something like good and positive before I go somewhere really sad for 2 months. Um, so the reason why I told you guys that whole story was I hope you saw that the first 3 times I went, it was anxiety, it was panic. I felt it in my chest, but the point is I showed up authentic. I wasn't cut off from my emotions, which is the king of air, John. I wasn't, I just gotta, haha, just gotta play, just gotta suck it up, just gotta, I'm here, guys. No, I was like, oh, I'm just feeling so scared and nervous. Like, I'm just, like, it's an interesting life transition. Like, I have friends, but I don't have friends. Like, my birthday, I had presents all throughout the day, so I'm surrounded by love, but I don't have anyone to go do anything with. And they were like, oh, don't worry, we get it. I just got divorced. Oh, yeah, my kids just moved out, so I'm an empty nester now. So it's like when you show up with that authenticity, people can connect with you more. That's the king of water. That's the when I go there and I'm like crying, I was like, you're a new friend. I don't want too much support from you. And then it was just enough. Like, thank you so much for organizing this. I'm leaving tomorrow morning. And like, I would have been with this anxiety, like all alone in my apartment. And then from there, last little bit of the story, and then we'll go into the mini read. He's texted me twice while being here. It's both been twice when like someone exploded at me, and he's like, hey, just don't forget, you're not the dog trainer, you're not the zookeeper. It's okay for you to focus on the things that are going to make you feel better. I was like, wow, thank you, you have impeccable timing, sir. He's like, don't worry, I got your back. I was like, oh. So point is, it's like, it's worth it. The first 3 times were and now it's cool. And I texted him, I was like, hey, good morning, new friend, just hope you have a good day. Okay, that fear resonates. Yeah, Tyler is very authentic and hilarious. Is there a time to ask a question? I got a new job interview. Yeah, there are questions. Let me catch up with any comments on the story I shared, Valentina, and then I'll come back. Blessings on your success. I also suffer anxiety and panic attacks. Imagine the better days, but still have them from time to time. Hey, Antoinette! Hey, I gave you an apology earlier in the video, Antoinette. I feel that Kelly, I myself started on the flea market, and that is how my story unfolded, and I'm now always smiling and saying good morning to everyone. I love that it brings so many smiles. Sorry for your loss. I'll thank you for the compassion. I'm glad that you had the experience and had good results from it. My condolences, though. My son was just locked up yesterday. I'm doing my best to get. Tigress. A lot of today's readings, though, were about allow yourself to feel that sadness and that grief, and probably I would argue disappointments in there, and there's a little frustration in there. Allow yourself to feel those, and I will post the bilateral beats so that you can just journal and get a lot of that out. You got to let that out. After you let it out, that's when you then want to, okay, well, what do I like about my new situation? I guess I now have the time to do XYZ. I guess I now get to go to that yoga class I always wanted, since I'm not going to be like picking him up after work on Thursdays. So feel the bad emotions first and set a timer for 20 minutes. This was from I learned this from my aunt who passed. She's like, Kelly, the biggest thing that I learned from grief counseling is you want to set a timer for 20 minutes and let yourself feel the sadness, the grief, the abandonment, the alone, the powerless, the helpless. And then you immediately go get into action, even if the action is just to walk up and down the block. That sucks, lady. I love a general message from Spirit. From what I do, if it moves the energy forward. Thanks again for sharing. Yeah, you are welcome, John. And good luck. Keep coming back. We want to hear that you got your new job and that your health is doing better. So I'm moving forward, so I have more time to focus on my health, even though I may not know what those actions are, because that will be the fear that kicks in. It'll be like I've been driving for 10 years. My hips are just bad. I wouldn't even know what to do at the gym if I went to the gym. I'm just going to keep driving. This is what life is like. No, you got to go. I'm doing this for my health. I don't know what it looks like to be healthy yet, but that's once I get the new job, that's what I get to discover. I get to discover how to work out. Maybe I'll have to hire a personal trainer. Maybe I'll have to take a class. Maybe I'll have to do some YouTube videos. But that's what I'll get to discover, and I'll be in that discomfort for a while until I figure it out. That's why I told you that whole story from start to end. And now I have a beautiful new friend who just sends the perfect message at just the right time. Thanks, Kelly. So sorry for your loss. I hadn't realized it was your aunt. Hope you're having a good time in her place. Sending you a big hug. It's settling in here, and it's a little interesting to be an adult going into 2 adults' houses, staying with them and figuring out their rules, and also saying, guys, I'm not 20 anymore. I'm 39. Some of this stuff you can't expect out of me. It's interesting to adjust, I'll tell you that. But we're at the point where it's smoothing over, and we're all figuring each other out. So it's definitely worth it. I'll do this for myself. I put a comment on one of your videos for the link, but I figured you were busy. Oh, I didn't see it. Oh, I'm sorry. Gotta stop to fuel. Okay, talk to you later. Okay, let me go to Valentina's. I'm gonna do Valentina's, guys, and if anyone would like a reading after Valentina, now would be a great time to smash the super chat button. Because I always go live Monday through Thursday, 30 minutes free. And then after that, we dive into paid. And I'll be able to do the show this whole week. Next week, we're all doing like a family trip memorial for my aunt. So, and that's going to be Monday through Thursday. So there's no show at all next week. Okay, so Valentina, is there time to ask a question? I got a new job interview. I like the place. They are going to make me a money offer this week. I wonder what Spirit would have to say about it. Okay, just a general. Valentina, let me ask you a question. Are you doing this out of inspired action? Are you doing this out of a little bit of force to bring in some new energy and creativity into your life? Lori, I miss my kids and grandkids, all moved out of state and feel stuck, no future, no purpose, been this way for a long time. I feel like I need a miracle. Lori, this is where you got to lean into the discomfort of I'm all alone and it sucks. It sucks to have to go to new places by myself. And you got to lean into the what I'm telling myself about my aunt. It's like a Kelly, she was your main vacation friend 2 to 3 times a year. I'm adapting to new people. I am because it was like, do I want to live the rest of my life pining over the beautiful relationship with my aunt that's over? It's like, no. It's like I'm adapting to new people. I'm going to discover the new people I'm going to vacation with. Does that make sense, Lori? It's like a okay, it sucks. It would have been easier if it was my kids. Um, it would have been easier if it was my kids. I don't like this discomfort. I guess I have to lean into and start my new life. And this is where you got to like, I like you got to go to the board game groups or whatever group you want to look up. There's a website meetup.org and there's ones on there that are like 60 plus and only. I'm finding a lot of stuff for my parents and my uncle to do in this town as I'm trying to help them like get their new social life going. Um and you just got to go repeatedly for about 2 months, anywhere from 3 to 8 times. That's when I figured out that you start to hang out with people outside of that hobby group and it's meetup.org. um so Valentina, you are saying it was complete synchronicity. I'm looking for a place that is more stable as a day job. Right now I'm in a startup and it's way too much work. A friend said send me your resume, I'll pass it along. I sent it and they were then I'm going to word it this way, Valentina. Looking for a marketing analyst. It feels like a relief, this place. What I want to do is have a steady day job as I work on my business. Okay, that makes sense. That rang true. You got the death card, the five of air, and the ace of air. Oh, there we. It is the end of look. Okay, now this makes sense. You're closing off a cycle of looking for your sense of excitement and joy to come out of your workplace. Okay. Well, what else, Spirit? Okay, so what you liked out of the startup place was that you got to be creative, you got to give ideas, you got to contribute and see it change and morph. It looks like that's no longer an option there. Okay, the advice would be as you go into the new job, all that creative energy and the wanting to contribute and like pull that energy back, funnel that energy into your business and just do the good day job for them. If you can pull all that creative energy back and not want to go in and hey, here's new things I learned and as long as you don't put that energy in there, it will be you should be fine. It's going to be hard. That's going to be your sticking point, Valentina. Because you want to go in, you're going to be like, woohoo, let's contribute. Let me like help make this better. Because you want that like family connection feel. For you, it's just going to be a little hard to not do that, Valentina. Because it's going to be like oh, I'm just here for the money. Does that mean I'm using them? What are they getting out of it? Um, and that okay. Hold on, let me sink into your read, Valentina. It's like because you're aware of what you're getting out of it, and you're also aware because you're intuitive too, so you can kind of know I do like there will be an end date to this. I see that this will set me up perfectly to be able to do what I want, and once this gets big enough, I'm going to leave them. It's like but who am I to get just what I need and then abandon them once I'm set up? Who are they going to get to replace me? I can't just abandon them. It's a guilt of receiving. Let me see what you're saying. Good, I can do that. I'll focus on it. Okay, I need to focus on growing my business. Yes, I can see how that would be hard for me. Yeah, it is going to be hard for you. What I want to let you know is where people get trapped there is they go, well, I feel so guilty. I feel so guilty. And feelings you can't argue with. You're just supposed to feel them and somatically process them, right? I feel guilty for receiving is a belief system. It's not a feeling, it's a belief system. And belief systems you can challenge, you can tackle, you can wrestle with them. So the fact that it's a belief system, that's why it's going to rear its ugly head on you. It's got to be there's that old belief system coming up that I have to contribute, I have to over contribute. Here's everything I'm getting. I need to make sure they're getting more. I need to make sure they're good so that I can be good, codependent. Um, so if you need to, Valentina, go back and do that me meditation for my Becoming Who You Really Are course, because this is just your next evolution of that self-concept of me. And you know what? I'll share one more story. There's a conflict of expectations where I'm at right now. And they're like, well, I thought you were coming out to do this, 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 and this. And I'm like, I did not come out for that reason. This is the reason that I came out for. And there was if you don't appreciate this, then maybe I shouldn't invite you here. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to allow this emotional outburst to happen because she was my aunt. She was closer to you. You had a closer relationship with her. But if after you calm down, you don't see my point of view, watch how fast I leave. But I didn't do that in the moment. It was hey, they're at the level 10 emotion. I'm at the level 3. Let them have the outburst. Okay. And it was just this is the intention for why I came out. I'm sorry I can't be Aunt Jess. Like, I'm not her. She was 3 people in one. I'm one person. I can help you with this. And I'd like to highlight for you how I've been contributing, how I've been giving back. I also need to run my business, which is a full-time thing. I'm really glad you had this person to help you with this, and this person to help you with this and this. And then I joked. I was like, well, hold on. I don't want to tell too much of the story. I was like, sounds like 3 people are replacing Aunt Jess. I'm sorry you lost her. Um, like you got to be willing to do that, Valentina. Right? And this is why I say it's the next level of the self-concept of me, the next level of healing that codependent wound. Because when you have that belief system of I feel guilty for receiving, you're going to be invited to self-abandon. Does that make so? It's because people will. Let me try to think of a good example. Because before, when you're learning the lesson, it's someone that's extremely overtly toxic, right? So it's easy to go, no, you're being toxic, I'm choosing me. But it gets to when it's someone you're mostly healthy now, they're mostly healthy, and you're at a place of like, no, I really like this relationship, here's why, I want to make them happy. Um, you'll be at a point of like, no, because I do want to make them happy, I do like them, they're healthy. You can dip into that self-abandonment thing, right? And I had to look at someone and go, listen, I'm sorry. I'm like mentally and emotionally like tapped out. I have not had the energy to like cook, and like they're used to me coming in and cooking. Like I will make cauliflower pizza from scratch. I will blend it down. I will cook it. I don't even buy it frozen rice flour. I like make it from scratch. Season it, bake it, and like making cauliflower pizza crust is an all day affair when you start it from like the cauliflower raw. And I was like, sorry, man, I don't have that. I don't have energy to cook right now. And the first day I was like, I'm gonna make us all lunch tomorrow. They all got excited. I was like, I'm gonna go buy ground beef and taco seasoning packets, and we're eating tacos, yo. Like it's gonna be a simple meal, right? So Valentine, it's like I didn't self abandon. It was a I do want to give, but I know if I go run and do that in the morning, I'm gonna feel like I betrayed myself. I see that they're in pain. I'm also in pain. Um, okay, is that starting to make sense? Valentina, give me some of your thoughts and comments. Oh, good, man. Yeah, this can absolutely be applied to gangster thug type of person. Oh, thank you, Concha. Yes, I'm working on that. Okay, I'm willing and thank you for pointing that out. I can work on a belief system. And yeah, ultimately, Valentina, I don't think you're ready for this right now, so don't try to jump straight to the other end. What I did when I became aware of this, and I'm actually at the, I would say 70% mark of unraveling this belief system. At first, it was just, I can learn to receive in a different way. That's possible. And then I just dropped the topic. Now it's at a point where after some of the conversations where we had like the conflict of what were your intentions for coming out, what are expectations, and I kind of had to look at the person and go, listen, like I'm an emotional person. Here I contributed these ways. It sounds like Aunt Jess did that for you, and then she would go and do XYZ for you. I'm an extremely emotional person. If someone's like screaming and yelling at me, I then get like, whew, it hits me. I was like, and I'm also trying to run a full-time business here. If I'm live and like, okay, guys, let me read your tarot cards. I was like, who the F is gonna buy from me? Like they're buying from me to get clarity. What path should they take? They're buying from me to get energized so they feel gung ho about moving forward in life. And then thirdly, for those course corrections, working through their fears so that they get the result that they want. If I go work and then come out here and help you and I'm getting, and then I go back to work, like that's when you're at the other end of that belief system, Valentina. I didn't self abandon. I didn't go, old me would have been, okay, you know what, Kelly, you signed up for this. You just need to, for 3 weeks, focus on them. You'll do your business later. This time it was I'm going to help you out a little bit, but it's like hey, you got to give me some wiggle room. I may not be able to do everything you want me to do, but what I can do is I can be your project manager. I can help you organize your list in a productive way so that you can see that you're getting it all done and you could do it. I'm sorry I won't be able to do the chores and the errands with you. And then it was like oh, okay. Thank you for that help. That is what I need to do. And then it was like hey, I do feel better. I see what I need to. Does that make sense, Valentina? Not trolling. Ooh, I got to read that comment. Not trolling. Does or can these affirmations is what they feel like to me? Can they be applied to gangster thug? Yeah, absolutely. Why can't any of this be applied to that? Why do you think it can't? Yes, I can see what you were saying. It's been like that in my relationships, and it can be a bit confusing because it's not that toxic anymore. Yes, yes, it's not toxic. And like you genuinely want to make these people happy. But then it's you're tapping into that deeper level of authenticity, that deeper level of knowing, does doing this make me feel good? And because you have that drive to love them and to make them feel loved, it can feel good, but it's going to come with that little bit of like a manic feel, that little bit of I have to do this so that they will feel loved. And I was like, God, if I do that though and make that, I'm gonna have to wake up at 6 a.m., rush through my workout, rush through my time, and then I have to grocery shop. I'm gonna have to be cooking while I'm sweating, and then I have to rush to my parents to go do XYZ. I'm gonna be in sweat all day, and like with my body, I can't do that. Otherwise, because you guys know what happens if you don't shower after like a sweaty workout. And I was like, I can't do that to myself. I know that that person will feel disappointed, but I can't self abandon. And Valentina, even later on a different day, I showed up far later than they thought I was gonna show up. And they were like, what were you doing that was more important than this? And I just held firm. So I had to go to the gym, and then I had an appointment that I had to take care of. What was it that's more important than this? And I was like, I had an appointment that I'm not going to share or talk about. It was a private appointment for myself that I had to take care of. And I was asked like 5 more times throughout the day by various people. And I told him I would not be here in the morning. Not my fault. I don't speak as assertively as you guys do. You guys are saying to be more assertive. I told you I would not be there in the morning. well, why are you guys being mad at me for not being here in the morning? And then it was like, but why do you think you needed to work out? Isn't this more important? And I went, I am absolutely not apologizing for doing the one thing that is for my mental sanity and my emotional sanity as I'm here helping all of you. Valentina, does that make sense? And little M, whatever your name is, how do you need this? What's your question to help me help you apply this to thug life? This is absolutely applies to that too. I just found and comforted my abandoned self recently. I'm glad that I got her and that healing process continue. Absolutely. Min, just make sure you got to start the choosing you process. Ooh, that's what the J and K are for about you. Go out with both men and you're going to find that one invites you to self-abandon and one doesn't. I'm working on focusing on myself all the time, back and forth and back again. Yeah, I can't do that, Concha. Yes, I'm seeing how I do that. Sometimes I self-abandon. I see it. I come back to me. I've had a few talks with the guy I'm seeing and friends also working on it as therapy as well. Um, okay. Ooh, Valentina, check that out. I think, like, obviously you need to talk about it with some people. I have some people that I talk about it with. And they're like, ooh, Kelly, are you self-abandoning or do you actually want to do that? Is it going to bring you joy or is it I'm doing this so they feel loved? And it was okay, you know what? I actually can't go do that tomorrow morning. I know how loved that person will feel if I do it, but I can't do that to myself. And it was like, but you know what? I know on Monday I'll have energy and I'll have the time. I'll run to the store and I'm going to make them tacos. The next day, I went and picked up like $10, what's that, Papa Murphy's? You can pick up take and bake. And they were all like, thanks for lunch, but they're used to me making like these epic, like, I will come and make rib dinners, mashed potatoes. I'll come and make cauliflower pizza. And then I normally have like a healthy dessert I make, like cauliflower cashew muffins. And I was like, you're getting take and bake pizza today. Okay, but Valentina, so have your people that you talk to about the emotional issues. But number one, you're not a dog trainer. You don't need to teach people. Number two, you don't need everyone to understand why you need what you need. And it was just I'm not telling you what I did this morning. I'm absolutely not apologizing for the one thing I told you I did this morning. And then I had to look at the person and go, hey, you asked me how many times I normally go to the gym. I told you 3 times. He was like, good job. And I went, that's what I did when I was in Chattanooga. Now that I'm here, I'm going every day. That is my only hour and a half that I get to myself that I'm doing for myself. So it's like, I didn't just like prioritize gym time over this help with you. This is my 1.5 hours a day that I get to myself. Like I'm used to living, say, I didn't need him to understand. I'm used to living alone. I'm now around people all the time who are all highly emotional. My gym time in the morning is non-negotiable. I then have to do my show. It's 11 a.m. Eastern time, but here it's 9 a.m. I then have to pretty much jump straight into my show at 9 a.m. That's a non-negotiable. My time is only negotiable after 11:30. And like I didn't need him to understand what, oh, but you see, if I don't do that, then I don't feel good. And if I don't feel good on my show, it's a crappy show. It was just like those are non-negotiable. Okay, and another example, Valentina, is another set of my family, because I have 2 family members where I could like stay at their house. Um, and one I'm like sleeping at, the other one I'm doing my work at during the day. The one I'm sleeping at is, well, don't you want to work in this room? And I went, guys, I can't. The internet is not good enough in that room. It's on the opposite side of the house from your router. And they were sad and disappointed. I didn't self-abandon. I kept coming here. And they even came back like, oh, Kelly, you were right. We tried to do this in that room and the signal wasn't good enough. And I went, exactly. And that was for downloading, which takes less internet bandwidth than a live show. And they're like, well, we can like leave the TV room where the router is so you could do your work in there. And I just looked at them and said, guys, look, I'm sorry I'm not going to be able to give you the answer that you want. I have a private room in the other house that's in the room with the router. I didn't listen. I love you guys. It was just, I'm sorry I'm not going to be able to give you guys the answer I want. I need that room and that place to get my work done. I don't need them to understand it. And the person that I'm working at, they're like, oh, you don't want to sleep here? Is their bed more comfortable? I looked at him and was like, yes, their bed is more comfortable. There's more reasons than that. For me, it's working out better to sleep there and to work here. I like seeing you during the day for lunch. I like being able to see them in the morning and to eat dinner with them. It's the best way for me to balance everyone out and to balance everything I need for me to get my stuff done. Does that make sense, Valentina? Thank you so much, Kelly, for all the information, advice, the time and energy spent with it. Oh, thank you, Tigress. This is really helpful. Yeah. Hey, y'all can smash the super chat button if you want. It makes perfect sense. Thank you. Yes, this resonates, wanting to make them happy, but also taking care of myself and finding the middle ground on that. Yeah. And I got to tell you, we've now hit like a new piece. I was going to sit down and like, hey, you know what we should do Monday? We should turn your to-do list into a daily to-do list. Because I can help with that, but I can't help with it. When I arrived this morning, I was expecting to have to do this show, hop off, and then go help him do that. He's like, I did it. I did it. He's like, if you want to look at it and give me advice, I'm like, I'd love to do that. I'm 5 minutes late to my show, though. So can you just go ahead and take off and do what you wrote? And when we get back, I'll go out there and help you. You see how that's helping and loving and giving them the help that they need, but also not self-abandoning me? Old me, Valentina, would have 100%. I could do my show tomorrow. If I was really good enough in alignment, I'll still get all the clients I need. Yes, sister, wanting to make them happy, taking care of myself. People seem to think that the gangster doesn't need love or won't apply certain things because of lifestyle. Okay. And are you going to choose to focus on what other people think? They think because I'm involved with or was involved with thugs, gangsters, that I don't need love, that I'm tough, that I can't be trusted? Or are you going to go, hey, you know what? There was a phase in my life where, hold on, let me show you with tarot cards. There was a phase in my life where I had to be the king of fire. I had to cut off my emotions to do what I had to do and to make good life. But I'm now moving into being this guy, the guy who's emotionally available, the guy who's available for connection. I get that I'm going to have a lot to learn about relationships, how to develop healthy, good relationships, how to be a green flag person myself. I'm going to have to learn a lot of interpersonal skill sets, a lot of personal development, and I'm willing to go on that journey because I want a good woman in my life. I want love. So I'm willing to go on the journey to become the new person. And then from there, you got to be open to some people leaving your life and new people coming in. Does that make sense? MIL 45. My question is, how does a gangster get a good woman? Okay, I just answered that. You got to go through the journey. Like, it's not like you're going to get her, right? You have to learn how to be available. You have to learn that, like, at least a 15-minute conversation every day is important. You're going to have to learn rupture and repair. Like, you have to go on the journey of discovering, how do I become a good man? It's not, how does a gangster get a good woman? It flipped that around to, how do I become a good man to a woman? That's the journey you're on. How do I become a man that a woman wants to be around? Because once you become that man, she's going to be there. No one has ever read me like you. I got a unique background. I got a cognitive science background from UC Berkeley. I used to study the brain and the science side of how it worked. I kind of forgot a lot of that knowledge, but that was my initial background. Then I deep dived into a lot of psychology, and then I learned the spiritual stuff. So I got a unique background. You guys all of you would really like the workshop coming up on the 21st. So just, Valentina, any last little questions, comments? If anyone else wants a personal reading, now's a good time to smash the super chat button. And MIL 45, it's just, I'm on the journey to becoming the kind of man that a woman wants to be with. God, universe, show me how to become a good man, a good partner, a man that a woman can rely on. And then that you're going to start getting new information from shows like this, your social media feed, conversations with people. Hey, this is what women like. Oh, hey, if I were her, I would have felt abandoned by you. And then you come back a week later and acted like nothing happened, and you're getting mad at her for not being appreciative that you're back. And that's when someone would go, well, if I was her and there was a fight and you just left, I might feel abandoned by you. And you got to be willing to, oh, so when there's fight, here, let me give you this story, MIL. So the day that I showed up a lot later than everyone thought I should be here, and they were getting mad, like, what's more important, all that stuff, they were like, you know what? I think I need a break from you. Like, you should just leave. And part of me was like, you know what? I've actually contributed a lot. If y'all don't appreciate me, watch how fast I leave. I don't need to stay here the 2 months. I'll be out of here. Um, but I had to self talk. I go like, hey, right now, they're the ones that are a level 10 emotion. You're at a 3 or 4. Not only are you here later than they thought you would be, you were also 2 hours late in your own timeline. Let them have their emotions, right? Because that's another skill you got to learn to be in a healthy relationship. If someone else is a level 10, you don't jump up and go, well, if you don't appreciate me, I'm leaving. No. If they're at a level 10, you got to go, I was literally, when they were all harping at me, I was like, I can completely understand why you guys feel this way. I'm sorry you feel abandoned. I can understand why you feel disappointed. I can understand your anger and you're upset right now. No, I do not feel entitled to being here. No, I don't feel like I should get a free ride. I do feel like I should contribute. Like, I had to do that. And then when they went from like a 10 to a 6 or a 7, then it was, here's some of my side of the view. And then later, when they went to a 3 or 4, it was like a, hey, I'm sorry, I came down really hard on you. What made you stay? Because here's another thing you're going to have to learn, MIL. It was a, I know that a healthy person knows what rupture and repair looks like. And the biggest thing you could do for someone when they're mad, upset, and angry is stay there, be there, don't abandon them. Right? But that one you got to kind of balance out because sometimes it is better just to leave, right? But in this case, I knew, nope, I'm going to have to stay here. I'm going to have to sit through the discomfort emotions. Does that make sense? And Tigress, it's not, I'm working towards not self abandoning because what you focus on, you get whether you want it or not. So, sure, you're not self abandoning, I'm not self abandoning, but then you're always going to manifest in places where you're like, I'm not doing this again. I'm not going to do this again. But guess what you did again? You did it again because you're not going to do it again. What you focus on, you get. It's got to be, whoa, I became aware that I self abandon and that self abandonment just looks different when you're around healthy people. I'm discovering how to be in a good, harmonious relationship where both of us, 90% of the time, feel good and easy. I'm moving towards relationships where we both can feel supported. Does that make sense, Tigress? All right, guys, I love you lots. This show went ridiculously long. Good show, though. Come back. I'm going to do the show Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Next week, I am going to take off. I hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.